Okay, I'll introduce myself. This is Priya and working as a clinical SAS programmer, and I had an experience of 4.5 years and I'm working in UK. Can you introduce yourself one by one?
My name is Naseem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a research scholar in the area of finance,
Okay,
and I am completing my PhD in this area. So I think SAS would be useful for me.
okay. And you're from which place?
Hyderabad,
Okay.
Hyderabad in India.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
No, there's actually a Hyderabad in Pakistan as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hi Priya. My name is Sri Harsha. Actually, I'm a homemaker.
Okay.
My education background is bachelor's computers, but I never get a chance to work.
Okay.
Just I want to start my IT career.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Purushottam?
Hello, Priya.
Yes. Can you please give your
Yeah,
introduction?
yeah. My name is Purushottam. Just lost my job recently. I lost my job. So
Okay.
one of my friends suggested to look to pursue the job based on the SAS clinical training. So
Okay.
I was looking for the job on this. Okay.
Okay. Great. And other one?
Hi, I'm Rajeshwari. So I'm living in USA, North Dakota. I'm a housewife and I finished my MCA and I have no work experience.
Okay.
Little bit worried about programming and all. So do you suggest me SAS is the good one to choose as a career?
Yes, of course. Because see, if you choose any other domains, means that may be limited to one or two particular sectors, right? But as
Okay.
many sectors are using, so one or the other sector, you can find job in any other sectors, right?
Okay. Sector means you are talking about domain?
Yes, either in a clinical side or in a financial
Okay.
side, like that.
Okay.
Different types of
Okay.
companies.
Companies. Okay.
Okay, and no need to worry about all the experience thing and all, because what is the difference between an experienced programmer and an beginner?
Experience means
What? So
it's quite easier for them to understand things
what makes
and
them easier?
develop.
Only their practice.
Yeah,
So
practice. Yep,
yes, but
right.
whatever the syntaxes they are writing, so even if when beginner wants to print the report, he has to write the same thing. Even if the experienced wants to print the report, he has to write the same thing. So if you practice a lot, that is enough. No need to worry about an experience and all, because see, while explaining the topics, I like tell you in what way you will use that program or that procedure in real time. So obviously then you will get an idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay then. Can you see this icon? This reverse triangle, this is the SAS icon. If you click on that, it will open like this. Okay, the current version in the market is 9.4. Mine is only 9.2. And also it depends on the system. Some systems won't support from 9.3 and all. Okay. But not much difference will be there. We can perform all the works using even 9.1 or 9.2 works. Okay. So today I'll just explain you the SAS software and what are the duties of a SAS programmer or what is the role of a SAS programmer. And also, first of all, I want to tell you one thing about my training. What are the topics I'm going to cover and how many days, everything. Okay. So if you have any questions in between, let me know. Okay. So
Sure.
I'll cover first base SAS procedures, all the base SAS, and then advanced SAS will be covered in the training. Base SAS means we'll learn so many things in the base SAS, but all the procedures we won't use in the real time. But first few classes what we are learning are just for the knowledge purpose. Okay, why I am explaining you those topics means because without those basic information we can't work. Okay, so all those questions they won't ask in any interviews and all. But remember one thing, if you go for certifications, those topics are important. Okay, and advanced SAS, we learn so many advanced SAS procedures as well as SQL, SQL and macros. These two also covered in advanced SAS. SQL means some SQL queries we can perform using SAS. So all those things we'll see, and macros. I think macros, whoever having an idea on Excel sheets, they know macros little bit, right? So most of the time in real time we'll use macros, which reduces the repetition of the work. So all these things I'll teach you. And as a SAS programmer, we have to generate reports. Reports are of different types: tables, listings, and then figures. Figures or graphs, either way we can call them. Okay, simply we'll say TLFs or TLGs. These reports will generate using SAS procedures. Okay, but if I teach you these procedures and if I leave, as a beginner it will be difficult to apply all the procedures here. So I'll teach you all these things, and also I'll teach CDISC standards. CDISC, which includes SDTM and ADam. Okay, why I'll teach you these means, if you go for a clinical side, this CDISC is very important. Okay, after training I'll give you a project. So how to generate tables, or how to create an SDTM datasets, ADam datasets, all the project will be given to you, and I'll take mock interview also. Okay, so when you are ready for the exam, interviews, so I'll take a mock interview. So what kind of questions in generally they'll ask in telephonic interviews, or how it will be in face-to-face rounds. So everything I'll teach you in that mock interview class. Okay. And the main thing is, daily I'll record the class and I'll send you the video, recorded video. And suppose if I explain you some X topic today, means on the today's topic I'll say give you a few questions also. A small assignment will be there. So you have to answer and mail to me. If any mistakes are there or any doubts, we'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Along with the notes I'll send you. So I'll send you task, notes, and also a recorded video. So you guys no need to write a running notes, because if you are concentrating on writing notes, there is a chance to miss few points here, right? So no need to write a notes.
Yeah.
I'll give you study materials, everything. We'll give you sample CVs also. So if you want to build your own resume, you can prepare your resume, or if you want my help, I'll definitely help you in preparing your CV. And also all the study materials I'll give you, frequently asked questions. So everything I'll provide you. And the important one is, do you anyone had idea about certifications, SAS certifications?
I heard about that actually.
Okay. So base SAS certification, advanced SAS
Basis on
certification,
that.
yes, like that it will be there. So in future, if you want to go for a certification, again you should not come back for certification training, right? Because whenever you are paying for SAS training, means you should get everything in the training. So what I'll do, while explaining each and every topic, I'll tell you what kind of questions we'll get in certifications, and what are the topics most of the time we'll use in a real time. So everything I'll teach you simultaneously. And also I'll provide you some certification sample questions. So you no need to worry. And training will be there for on an average 30 to 35 days. Okay, why I'm saying on an average, because for some people it will take even 40 days, and some students I can able to complete in 20 days also. It depends on the student capability. Daily weekdays, daily 1 hour I'll take. If you guys want on weekends, weekend also I'll take. Okay, or only weekends or only weekdays also is there. So it's completely on your flexibility. So what are the each topic will cover in basis and advances? I'll mail you each and every topic. Okay. Okay. Before starting, do you have any questions? Sri Harsha, Purushottam, do you have any questions?
No, Priya.
Okay.
I don't have any. No.
Okay. And what about you,
Yeah.
Rajeshwari?
No, you can go ahead.
Okay. And one more thing is, SAS procedures and topics are same even for clinical and financial. I think Shreya, you said you are from IT background at computers, right?
Yes,
So
Priya.
when I am talking about this CDISC and all, you may get confused, but no need to worry about this. Okay, this is an additional thing for the clinical side.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I saw your videos in YouTube.
Okay.
I came to know the terminology side.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So any other questions?
And again, the support will be there for job also, you said, right, Priya?
Yes.
If you get a job.
Yes. If you get job, I'll provide you job support also.
Okay.
And see, and also if you have any doubts after training also, you can mail me at any time. It's not like only during this training period I'll take care of you. Okay. So if you have any technical issues also, you can contact the technical person regarding software or any files. Okay. If you have any doubts in the subject also, you can mail me at any time.
Consultancy, Priya, or you'll market. Do you know anybody to market us?
Yes.
After the.
Once you prepare your CV and
Okay.
just send it to me. I'll just cross check if any mistakes are there, and the management team will do the marketing. They'll send to some consultancies, and those people will contact you.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Okay, but finally, at the end of the day, the thing will be. It depends on you how you are performing in the interview.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Actually.
don't worry about all those things. I'll teach you how it will be in interviews and all. So no need to get panic. But the thing is mainly from your side you have to practice each day daily. Whatever the topic I am explaining you, each and every day you have to keep on practicing. So suppose if you are not practicing for 2 or 3 days, as a beginners, there is chance to forget all the topics. So during weekends when
Yes.
you are finding time, just practice from first. Whatever the topic I am teach from Monday to Friday, just practice all the topics. Okay. Now I'll explain you the SAS software, okay, first, because without understanding the SAS software, we can't go through the topics. So even you can understand how I am teaching. So any questions still now?
So
No?
is it a completely programming language?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's a
Okay.
programming language.
Okay. Okay.
So here everything depends on the syntaxes what we are writing. So don't worry. From starting from the SAS software, how it will work to the advanced programming. I'll teach you everything. See, by the end of the
So
training, you should become an experienced programmer. How you will become an experienced based on your practice only, right?
practicing, yeah.
So daily after the class, at least spend 1 hour time to practice. Okay, so if you are not practicing, again you will feel difficulty. Okay. Any questions, Nazin?
No, not from my side.
Okay. Okay, now I'll tell you what is SAS. Okay. So do you know what is the full form of SAS? Anyone?
Statistical
Mm-hmm.
Yes, statistical.
analysis and I don't know.
Yes, statistical analysis
Either
system.
system or software.
Yeah, system or software. Okay.
Okay.
And SAS was developed in between 1960s and 1970s. Okay. And mainly for the agricultural purposes, they developed this SAS. But we nowadays they are using in many sectors. Like they are using in financial side, like banking, retails, automobiles, and they are using most in pharmaceutical companies. So many sectors are using SAS. Then what is the difference between all those sectors? Wherever you go, the SAS system software will be the same, and also syntax is also same. The only change is data, right? So if you are working in a clinical side, what kind of data you will deal? Generally, as subjects, medical history or BP values, vital signs, all those things, right? What is the drug they have taken? when they have taken, what are their diseases, adverse events. So like that. If you are working in, suppose in banks, so what kind of data you will deal with? It generally customer accounts and their financial things, right? So, but wherever you go, the software is same and also syntaxes are same. And one more thing, if you want to go for certifications also, first you should do basic certification and then advanced like that. Okay, and also there is only one certification, like only globally recognized certification. And for the SAS Institute, CEO was the Jim Goodnight. He is the founder of the SAS Institute. Okay, Jim Goodnight. I told you it was invented or developed in between these years, right? Means how many years back? Around 50 to 60 years back, right? So, will SAS has any competitors?
Yeah, it's Cognos and
Yeah,
Data Stage.
yeah, you're correct. Cognos, SPSS, Informatica, Teradata. So like that many competitors are there, but how SAS can overcome all those competitors? It should have one specialty, right? Then only it can overcome all these competitors. So the thing is SAS can perform three things. One is data management, and it can analyze the data, analysis can be done, and we can generate different kinds of reports. These three works SAS can do, but all these competitors cannot perform these tasks. So if you take Cognos, this is just a reporting tool. It can't analyze and it can't do data management. This data management is nothing but manipulation of the data. And SPSS is just only an analytical tool. It can't do data management and it can't generate reports. Informatica is just only for data management. Like this, all the competitors is having one or other drawbacks. Like they can perform only one or two tasks. They can't perform all these three. But SAS can perform all these three. So if anyone wants to do all these works, means which one they'll select? Either SAS or they'll go for three different tools. Obviously SAS, right? Okay. And one more thing, we can install SAS in any operating system like Windows 8 or Windows 7, Windows 10, or in Mac also we can install. Okay, and can you see at the bottom, editor, log, output, explorer and results? All these things we'll call them as in Windows. So what are the windows that present in SAS? 5 windows: editor, log window, output window, explorer, and then the results. These are the 5 windows that SAS contains. Each window is having its own advantage. So whatever the work we are performing in SAS, we'll do only by using these windows. So let's see the use of each and every window. So what is use of editor window? Editor, the name itself is saying, right? Editor means where we can edit the programs, or it is used to write a program. Now where I am typing? See, I am typing in an editor window, right? So this is an editor window I am typing here. So this is the only window where we can write a program, where we can type. Okay, so just only for your understanding purpose, I'll just create some data. Don't worry about all these things. Okay, about programming, I'll teach you. Just now I'm writing only for explaining Windows. Okay, now here I've written a program. This is my program. So I want to submit a program. How to submit a program? So just select all the codes and click on this submit button, which is on the top. Okay, this is the submit button. Now the program got submitted. We can submit in many ways. So first one is this one, and you can right click and do submit selection, or you can type submit and click enter. And finally we can press F3 also. So these are the 4 ways that we can submit a program. Okay. Now I submitted a program and I want to know the information about this program. Suppose if this is having any errors, so somewhere it has to display, right? The complete information about the program. Then only we can understand. So where it will display? It will display in the log window. So always make a habit of checking log window once you submit a program. So log window is used to display the complete information about the program. See here, it is showing the codes, right? Whatever the codes I have written, it is showing those codes. Data, new, input ID, salary. So same codes it is showing. Until and unless we request, it won't show the data there in the log window. Okay, and also it is showing some notes, right? So total process time, how much time it took to execute that. So all that it is giving, all the execution details. Basically log window displays 4 colors. One is blue, black, green and then red. These are the 4 colors that log window displays. So in blue color what it will show? It will display the notes. All the execution details will be in blue color. And in black color it will display the codes. See here, these codes are in black color. And in green color what it will display? It will show the warnings. Suppose see here data, instead of writing DATA, I'll write as DATA and I'm submitting this. Now go to log window and check. See, it is showing a warning here, right? Assuming the symbol data was misspelled as DAT and it is underlining here, highlighting. So like this warnings it will show in log window. So we can go back and correct that mistake. Okay, suppose if we are doing any errors, so those errors will be displayed in red color. See, here semicolon I am removing. So now go to log window. See, here it is showing there is a syntax error and expecting one of the following. So by reading these errors and warning notes, we can understand where we have done mistake. Sometimes it will suggest also to use the particular option or anything. Okay, so here again we have to correct. We can correct it. Now there are no errors and warnings, right? So whenever we are generating a report, our log window should be free of warnings and errors. It should not be like this. So is this clear till log window? Any questions?
No.
Okay. Now I want to generate a report where it will display the report. The reports whatever we are generating for them, the destination will be an output window. And remember this is the only window that opens by default. See, if I want to open log window, I have to click here. Editor, click here. Explorer, log. So we want to click on those windows. But to open an output window, no need to click like this. When your program is 100% correct without any warnings and errors, so if you would try to print that report, see here I am printing. Observe my cursor. It is at top, right? I am clicking the submit button. See? By defaultly, report got printed in output window. Right? So this is the only window that opens by default and it will show the reports what we generate. So here whatever the data present in that, so ID, salary and age and some values are there. The same thing here it is displaying. ID, salary, age and like this. The data given in the program. Is that clear output window? Next one is the Explorer window. Explorer window here if you observe, we'll find different folders like my computer's favorite folders, file shortcuts and libraries. Like how we'll see in our systems and in laptops. In these things the only important one is the libraries. Why libraries are important? Because whatever the data we are saving or we are storing in SAS, they'll go and save in these libraries. So these acts as a storage place for SAS files. Okay. In deep about libraries like how to save the data, how to create libraries, we'll see that later. Okay. But just for now, remember libraries are present in Explorer window. Now, the next thing is results window. So what is the use of the result window? Suppose see this one here, I am executing second time. So it is showing 2 times here, third time, fourth time. But what is the use of this? So in real time, suppose if we generate some 20 reports or 30 reports and after generating the last report, I want to go back and check the mid one or the second one or the fourth one. then how to check that? So here we have to scroll this window, right? But how we'll know the report number? Which report? Because the report may fit in one page or may not fit in one page. So it will be difficult for us to scroll right here. So we can use this results window. It is used to navigate the output window. See, if I want to check the fourth report, I can just simply click here. See, it is opening that. Now you can observe by page number. See here, this is the fourth page number. If I want to go back to first one, I can click here. See, and again I'm jumping into third one. So like this we can navigate our output window. So whatever the procedures we are running, those procedures here it will show one by one in a tree like manner. Are you getting? Is it clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Now let's see SAS files. SAS contains two types of files. One is this white one we'll call them as a dataset, and these yellow ones we'll call them as a catalogs. Okay, these are the two files that SAS can store. So now let's see about these datasets in clear. So this is my dataset. What is the dataset name? New, right? So this dataset I created, new dataset. So I'll just open this. To open, double click on that. It will open. How it is looking like?
In a table format?
Yes, it's looking like a table. So table contains what?
Rows and columns.
Yes. How many rows are there and how many columns are there here?
3
Two
rows
rows
and 4 columns.
No, it's 2 rows and 3 columns.
Yes. So no need to count this one. Okay, these are the
Okay.
2 columns and these are 2 rows. In SAS, we have to call columns as variables. We won't call them as columns. Instead, we have to call them as variables, and rows, say it as observations. Okay, here there are 3 variables: ID, salary and age. These are the 3 variable names and 2 observations. Each row is an each observation. So this is first observation and this is the second observation. Okay, so if you observe log window here, when I execute a program, see the data set new has 2 observations and 3 variables, right? My data set name is new and it is having 2 observations, 3 variables. The same thing it will display in the log window also. So is that clear about variables and observations? So do you have any questions still here?
Yeah, hi Priya, there is one question from my side.
Yes, tell me.
Yeah, what is you have said that there are 2 files, that is dataset and catalog, no?
Yes.
Yeah, then what is the use of catalog actually?
Yes, I'll tell you. See, data set will save our data. See here, this is the data we are saving. But catalogs, it's not like that. So catalogs mainly we'll use for formats and we'll use for macros. So it means if we write a program to create a format, it will save in the form of a catalog. Even if I say about catalogs now, you won't understand. That's why I didn't explain you. While explaining the formats and all, you can easily understand. It's just nothing but
Okay, fine.
whatever the thing we are saving, which we can reuse them. Okay.
Okay, fine.
So it will
Okay.
save as a catalog. Okay. So is that clear?
The programming that you have done, but
Yes,
as
don't
far
worry
as the
about all this
concepts are
programming. I'll
required.
explain you about each and every word. What is the use of data? What is the use of input? Even what is the use of semicolon? Everything I'll explain you. Okay,
Okay,
don't worry
great.
about
As
all
far
this.
as the concept is required, I'm totally fine.
Okay. And Rajeshwari?
Yeah, concept, as Naseem said, concept is fine for me,
Okay.
but programming is new.
Yeah. Yes, this programming I'll tell you how to create a data set, what is the use of each word, what is the use of print, what is the use of proc, everything I'll tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so when we start the programming part, I'll explain you all that.
Okay.
Yes, we'll provide you the notes also, and we'll give you so many reading study materials. Okay, all the study materials, I'll tell you what time, what to read, at what point of time. So what are the things we have to follow, everything I'll tell you. But mostly first practice the examples what I'm saying, and also I'll give you some notes, right? So in that notes, whatever the topics are there, whatever the examples, just practice everything. If you want, you can refer the Little SAS book and also. Anyways, we'll provide you the all the study materials. No need to worry about that.
Do we have to do a chance to do a project at the end of the session?
Yes,
I mean,
yeah. I'll provide you project also. So like these reports, as I explain you these things, so I'll give you project on this. So some
okay,
tables and all I'll explain you, and there are different types of tables. All the tables you have to know. So and
okay,
table generation also, we can generate the same table in many ways. Or
okay,
just
okay,
only using the macros or using SQL or using all these basic procedures. So I'll explain everything. So whatever the way you feel comfortable, you can choose that.
okay, okay.
And Nazim, you're asking something? No need to worry about all that things. So I'll go slowly. If you are not understanding it at any point of time, you can ask me. You can stop and you can ask me to explain that, and I'll tell you. And also, as I told you, I'll provide you the recording. So whenever you want, you can listen to that video. Or if you want me to explain that procedure next day, I'll explain that. Or
Mm-hmm.
if you are stuck in a particular topic and not going further because of any doubt, you can mail me. No need to wait
Okay.
for next day class also. And
Mm.
as I told you already, I'll provide you the video recording.
Mm-hmm.
So you can listen that anytime, whenever you want. Is that clear, Nazir?
Okay, that's okay. That's great.
Mhm. About data sets, right? Data set and columns, rows, variables, observations. Is that clear?
Yes, I have no issues with that. Yes.
Okay. So today let's say another thing. Every data set contains two portions. One is called data portion. Other one is descriptor portion. Descriptor portion. So what is meant by data portion? Data portion means it just displays the data whatever we are giving. That's it. So if you want to browse the data portion, we have to browse by using proc print procedure. Okay. Just only for your understanding purpose, again I am writing the same data set what I have written yesterday, same thing. And this is my data set. If I run this code, it will create a data set called new. And I want to run this, print this data. So if I want to print the data, we have to use proc print. So just run this, it will display you the data portion. Data portion means which contains only data. See this ID, salary, age and some values for that it is printing. Coming to the descriptor portion. Descriptor portion means it won't show you the data, but it gives you the general information like how many variables are there, how many observations, when it was created, when it was last modified, everything. So complete general information it will give that we can browse by using proc contents procedure. That is just simple, replace the print word with contents. So now here observe, if I run this one, see it will give you like this. What is the dataset name? New. How many observations? 2 observations, 3 variables, whether it is sorted or not, and created date. So this date is wrong, my system date is wrong, so it is showing wrong date. And some engine information, all this information we don't even require. And alphabetical list of variables. So what are the variables we had? Age, ID and salary. In an alphabetical order it will show you. But here anywhere is it displaying you the data? See here,
No.
it is displaying the data, right? But here it won't display the data. So if you want general information, we need to use proc contents, and if you want to see the data, we have to use proc print. Okay, so these are the two portions that each and every data set contains. The next one is We'll, huh? Yes.
Yeah. Why this descriptor thing is in red? Is there some problem with this thing?
No. So if we are writing any codes, that either we should start with proc or if we should start with keyword data.
Okay.
Okay. So this is not a proper syntax. That's why it will show you like that. Okay. So if you don't want to see whenever we are running codes, so we have to run only this one. Suppose I want to run all the codes. So simply from here to here I want to run. But it is easy instead of selecting all these things to do Control A, right? So if we select everything,
Yeah.
so here it will also run and it will give you some sort of error. So if you don't want here,
Yeah.
we can keep that like this. Now it won't submit this state. Whatever the steps we'll use in SAS, we'll write only in 2 steps, either a data step or a proc step. What is meant by a data step? Data step is nothing but which starts with the keyword data and ends with run. So if it is starting with the word data, we'll call that as a data step. If it is starting with the keyword proc, we'll call it as a proc step. So both the steps will end with run statement. So proc is nothing but a procedure. So in shortcut we'll write as proc and multiple procedures will be there, different procedures. See here, print one procedure contains another procedure. Like that, frequency, report, tabulate, so many procedures are there. We'll see all those procedures.
The print and contents are the keywords?
Yes, these blue color ones are the SAS keywords. We should not change them.
Okay. So print is for printing purpose.
Okay, don't worry. I'll explain you about proc print procedure also. There is separate class. Now data step means which starts with the keyword data and ends with run. Proc means proc step which starts with keyword proc and ends with run. So here how many data steps and how many proc steps are there?
1 data step and 2 proc steps.
Yes, 2 proc steps. The next thing is here. Actually, as a SAS programmers, we have to generate reports from the data given, right? How to generate a report? How to generate a report? See, now this is my data, right? Observe on the left hand side, nothing is there here. This data I kept in data step and I am executing this. So what it is creating?
Creates a data set called new.
Yes, it created a data set, right? So by processing the data in data step, it creates a data set. And now here if I want to generate any kind of report, not only printing any report, so using proc step, I'm processing my data set, right? My data set name is new and that data set processing in proc step. So it is giving some report. So from proc step, we'll get the reports. This is the workflow of SAS. Do you understand this? What is the workflow?
So Priya, we only generate reports in tablet form or?
Yes, we'll generate different kinds of reports like this. See, this is just only printing. Previously, it is giving the content. This is one type. Sometimes we'll calculate statistics also, like mean, average, and all the statistics we'll calculate either in this way or in a tabular form also.
Okay.
So lines it will give. So everything will be there. So all those are different advanced procedures. Don't worry, I'll teach one procedure on one day. Now, is this clear about workflow?
Yeah, that's pretty much clear, but how is it different from any other reports that we create? I mean, in other software also we start by through this channel only. We have a data, then we create a data set, and then we analyze those data and then prepare a report. So it's pretty much similar.
Other software you are talking about?
Yeah, there are different kinds of softwares like Tableau, ClickView. They're also data.
Yes. But here, generating reports in the sense, in real time they'll give some mock shells. We'll call them as a templates. So I'll show you one example. So this is one kind of report. So this is called a table. So this here age is there and for that age, end, mean, standard deviation, median, minimum, maximum. All the statistics we have to create. So this report exactly similarly we have to submit them, except in place of X we have to replace them with some values, whatever the statistics we
The
have.
value.
So remaining each and everything remaining should be same. Even this gap also we have to maintain, and the titles and footnotes, even this line. So everything we have to give as is same like.
So this is a sample template, right?
Yes, this template is for a table. So as I told you, different kinds of reports, right? Tables, listings, figures. So that is
Yes,
one
yeah.
kind of table. Okay, so to create this table, how to generate this table? We have to use multiple procedures. First we have to calculate these statistics, and also whenever we are calculating mean and standard deviation, it won't come in brackets like this, right? So we have to keep them by using some extra functions. We have to control the decimals. So everything we have to do that. Okay, is that clear?
Yeah, Priya.
Okay, I'll go to the next one. Now let's see about these keywords. What is the use of keyword data? Data is used to create a dataset name. Whatever the words we are giving in the data statement, it will create them as a dataset name. Suppose here if I write new one, so it will create a new dataset called new one. So finally, the use of data is it creates a data set names. And in the input statement, whatever we are giving, they'll become a variable names. So here ID, salary and age. Suppose if I open this one here, how they became a columns here, variable names. Because that input statement will make them as a variable names. And next here, cards. Cards or data lines. Both are same. Anything we can write. And these are used to assign these values. Because see, somewhere here we are giving in second line ID and here we are giving value is 101, right? And salary 1000. So how it is taking the values perfectly as ID 101, salary 1000, age 26. How it is taking? Because these data lines are codes. These assign the values to the variable names. Are you getting? Do you understand?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay. Now finally we'll close the data step with run statement. The next one is the proc. Proc is nothing but a procedure. So it processes the data set depending on the procedure we are giving here. Print is used to print the data set name. Whatever the data set we are giving here, that data set it will print. Content means it will give you the content. General information it will give you about the data set. This proc step also will close with run statement. And also here we are using semicolon at the end of each line, right? That semicolon we'll call that as a statement terminator. So this is one statement, this is second statement. How will you differentiate that? By giving a semicolon. Suppose here if I miss to give semicolon, what will happen? So from here to here it will consider them as a data set names, right? Whatever is there in the data statement, it will take them as a data set name. So if I run this one, observe on the left hand side, see input, age, ID, all these it is considered as a data set names. But will it contain data in that? No, only data set it is creating. But where are the variables here? Go to log window.
The variables won't be there.
See here, 0 variables, right?
Yeah.
So try to open any of this, see, table with 0 columns. Nothing is there. Okay, so we have to give semicolon at the end of each statement. Suppose if we miss here, then what will happen? Again, input will consider all these as a variable names, right? ID, salary, age and data lines. It will consider all these three. But where is the data? We'll see error here. See, that statement is not valid or it is out of proper order. Okay, so we have to give here also. If you miss here, then how it will take data? There is no data line statement to assign the data, right? So at the end of each statement we have to give. And remember one thing, we should not give at the end of the data. If you give like this again, it will become an error. If you want to give, again in the next line give like this, but no need to give here. Okay. And after run also we have to give semicolon. At the end of each statement, that semicolon is important. Do you understand?
So once we execute this, this data, so already there are some data sets are created by names, age, ID, and input, whatever. So will they be deleted?
No. See, when it will delete, in the sense either we have to delete manually, or when we close the SAS, it will delete all the data sets present here. Okay, so if you don't want to keep these wrong data sets, invalid data sets, just simply you can select and click on this delete. That's it. If you want to create multiple data sets at a time, here just new1, new2, new3 like that. So you can write like this. So it will create two data sets, new1 and new2. Both will have the same data in that. See, I'll run this one. Already new1 is there. It will create new2. See, this is new2 and this is new1. Both will have same data. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's move into variables. Variables are of two types. One is a character type variable, other one is numeric variable. What is meant by character variable? Character variable means it can read letters and it can read numbers, it can read alphanumeric also. Everything it can read. But numeric variable can't read those values. It will take only numbers. Let's see an examples here. Suppose I'll create one more data set called ABC. Input, name, age, and then gender. Let's take some values. John, 45, male. Run. And now I'll try to print this. Now here, these are the letters, right? And these are numbers. But how SAS will understand that these are letters? How to inform or how to convey this? These are the characters and these are the numbers. So we'll differentiate character and numeric variable by giving $sign. If you give $sign next to the variable name, SAS will consider that as a character variable. Character variable can read letters, numbers, everything. So it is printing. Suppose here if we don't give $sign, then according to SAS this is a numeric variable, right? But numeric variable, can it read these letters? Numeric variable can read only numbers, so it will take missing value there. It can't read the value. So it is very important that we have to give $sign for the character variables. So, but it can read, see, now here we are declaring age as a character variable and here numbers are there. That's fine. Character variable can read numbers also. But if you want to do some calculations here using this variable, we can't perform. Because using characters, we can't do calculations, right? So declare this as a numeric variable. So is this type is clear for you?
Yes.
Okay. And next one is the
kinds of variables, right? Character and numeric. We don't have the alphanumeric.
It's alphanumeric also. Suppose here John 1, 2, 3. Now character variable, right? So it can read that data. Okay. If you declare that as a numeric variable, again it won't take that data because letters are there, right? Numeric variable means only numbers it will read. Is that clear about character and numeric?
Yes.
Now let's see here. John Johnson. There is a lengthy name here. The length of the variable is it can read only 8 characters by default. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Till n it will read. See, if I run this one, it won't take the complete name. See, the length is only by default, it can read only 8 characters. So how to read this complete name? remaining data it will truncate, it won't read. If you want to read the complete data, we have to increase the length of the variable. We can increase up to 32767 bytes. It's nothing but 32767 characters we can read. But in real time, mostly we'll use up to 200 only because we have some standards. According to the standards, we have to keep the length. See how to increase the length? Just simply writing length and again that variable name and how much you want to give. Suppose here I am declaring it as 15. 15 means the length. Now here this name can read till 15 characters. Again, if it is having more than 15, it can't read. So we have to set the length according to our value. Now run this. See? Now it is reading completely, right? Do you understand? Anyways, I'll explain you how to create a data set, everything. Okay.
Yeah, Priya, do we have to put a full stop there?
Here, it's not mandatory here. But sometimes it is mandatory. So even if it is not mandatory also, sometimes I'll use. Because wherever it is mandatory, there I won't forget, right? If I make a habit of it.
Why we use period next to the number?
In this case, it is not mandatory. That's what I'm saying. Okay, but for few examples, for few cases, it is mandatory to keep that dot.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry, I'll explain you about this programming, everything. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to the numbers. Numbers also here, the default length is 8. But it can read till 12 characters. Suppose see here, if I write 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. 12 digits are there, right? Till 12 digits it will read normally. But if you give more than 12 characters here, then it will read in an electronic format. Electronic format means it will give in decimals with capital A in between this. But again, this one also we can't understand what this number is, right? So then we can also increase the length of this by 32767. Okay, but not using a length statement, that is different. Length statement we'll use only for the character variables. Okay, see here, I said that default length is 8, but it is reading 12, right? But how can you understand, how can you identify that the default length is 8? Suppose if I run the proc contents for this data set, see here, it is giving you alphabetical list of variables and attributes, right? What are the attributes? Variables are age, gender, name. And here it will show you type. So age is a numeric variable, so num, gender and name are character variables. And if you check length here, see, length is 8, gender 8. So the default length will be 8. That will be set by SAS. We are not setting. And suppose here if you increase the length for name and now run this. Now name length it will show it as 15 here. But the default ones are 8 only. Do you understand the type and length of the variables?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now here what it is showing, it is saying is attributes, right? So like this we had 6 variable attributes. What are those 6? So first one is name, label, length, type, format and informat. These are the 6 variable attributes. Let's see what are these. So name is nothing but it will take the variable name. So here the variable name is age, here in name, age and gender, right? So the name column will take that particular variable name. How to check the attributes? So if you want to check the attributes, just click on the data set, open and double click on the variable names like this. It will open a box like this, see, column attributes. What are their? Name, label, length, format, informat and type. So these are the, so here the variable name is name. If you click on age, here the variable name is age. Like that it will take the variable name. Label means it will take the description of the variable name. We had some guidelines to write a variable names. So according to that, we should not give more than 32 characters. If your variable name is lengthier, so here we have to give a shortcut like PID suppose. So PID means we don't understand what is PID, right? So in the label we'll give the description for that. That is patient identification number. So the complete full form here we'll write. That is called the label. But in this case we didn't assign a label, so it is the column is empty here. And next one is length. Length and type already we have seen here, right? So age is a numeric variable. If you click on gender, that is a character variable. Name, also a character variable. And length, see here, it is 15 for name because here we increase the length. If you see the age here, 8 and gender, 8. Are you getting?
Yes.
Okay, so do you understand about these variable attributes?
Yeah. What is that format and in format?
Okay, sorry. This format and in format are different. That I'll explain you later. There is a separate class for this.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Is that clear, Rajeshwari?
Yes. Yes.
Now let's see the rules to create a variable names. Or we can say them as a naming conventions. Rules to create variable names and dataset names. For both the rules are same. So we should keep in mind whenever we are writing a dataset name or a variable name. So the first point is they should start with either letter or underscore. The first position should be either letter or underscore like this. See here, the variable name is starting with letter, sorry, dataset name here letter, or it should start with underscore like this. Either underscore or letter should present. The first place should be either these two only. And next one is should not use numbers at first place. But other than first place, anywhere we can write like this, like ABC1 or name in between or at the end. Anywhere we can write except first place. First place because either underscore or letter. Okay, and the third point is should not use special characters except underscore. Special characters means, do you have an idea? All these signs, blank space, all these. So all these we'll call them as special characters. Even underscore also is special character. Except underscore we should not use any other special character. Not only at the first place, in the entire name we should not use like this. Okay. Only underscore we have to use. Is that clear?
Yes.
And the last point is it should be only 32 characters long. It should not cross 32 characters, either this name or the variable name. If it is crossing more than 32 characters, then here we have to assign that as a label. Only shortcuts we have to give in the variable names. Now all these points are clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me which one is valid. Is this a valid SAS name?
Yes.
This one?
No.
No.
This one?
No.
Okay. This one?
No.
No.
This one?
No.
Yes. Yes.
Why not?
No. It ends with a
Yes,
special character. Oh yeah, both are the same. Yeah, underscore, right? Yeah, yes.
Okay, yes. So all these are correct, but these two, some exceptions are there. Okay, suppose here if you try to give this one as like this, dataset name. Now here SAS won't consider them as a single dataset. It will create two datasets, one is called my and another one is name. See? Even though if we think that as a single name, but SAS will consider it as a two different names. Even if you give here also. Because blank space works as a default delimiter. We'll call that as delimiter, means which delimits the values. So before blank space, it will take it as one name, and after blank space and another name. Okay, and the other one is underscore null underscore. Underscore null underscore, see here, if I write like this, and if I run this one, it won't create any data set, but internally it will store the data. Okay, why we'll use this underscore null underscore? Because instead of creating unwanted data sets, see, if I don't want to create this data set, and if we create a data set, so what will happen? SAS memory will get wasted, right? If we store more data, unwanted data. So mostly we'll use this in macros. In macros means there we want to create some macro variables. So but we don't want to create a data set. So in that case we'll use. If you want, either you can write like this or you can create a data set and you can delete them whenever you don't want. Okay, but understand that underscore null underscore means it won't create any data set. Is that clear?
In this case, when we name our data set as underscore null underscore, is this the specific thing? Is this like a command or something? If I name underscore my name underscore, would that be the same case?
No, only with the null.
Only with the null.
Null means nothing.
Yes.
Okay, only with this. Suppose here if you try to write like that, see the color change with the null and this one. Like null is a SAS keyword.
Okay.
And so are this clear? All points, everything?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Now let's see how to create a dataset. There are different methods like input method and then output method. These are the two different methods. Again, input method is divided into four different types. One is list input method, column input method, formatted input method, and then the named input method. These are the four methods that we have. Output method, only one method, we'll just say it as an output method, that's it. Each and every method is having its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, all these things we won't use in real time. But why I am explaining you is, this knowledge is very important if you go for certifications. Okay, even in interviews also, no one will ask you what are the different types of input methods, what is an output method. No one will ask you like this. But this information is very important. Okay. Now let's say first one, list input method. So I'll just create one data set. So however daily we are writing, that is called a list input method, like this. This is a list input method. In the list input method, we have to give variable names and values in the same order. First we are giving name, means here also we have to give name. Age and second value age, gender. Suppose here if you are writing like this, then what will happen? So if you write like this, SAS will consider name as 12, age as male and gender as John Johnson, right? So it is taking values wrongly. That means we have given the order wrongly. We should not shuffle them. The names and the values should be in a same order. Next one is, all the values should separate with at least one blank space. If more blank spaces are present, then also that's fine. At least one should be there. Suppose here if we are not giving blank space, then what will happen? It will take name as,
take it as a name.
Name, right? And age as male and gender no value. I'll run this program, see what will happen. See, is this printing anything? No, right?
No.
Whenever we are having mistakes in the
No.
program, it won't print. If you want to print this one, this should be everything perfect. Now, so let's go to log window and see. See here, it is saying some invalid data errors, right? See here, John. Name, it is taking John. By default, it will take only 8 characters, so it is taking 8. And age, missing value here. Why missing value? Because this is a numeric variable and it can't read characters. And for gender, there is no value only. See? Okay, that's why the blank space is very important. This blank space, we'll call it as a delimiter. Next one, if any value is missing, that will represent with period. Suppose if you are not giving period, then what will happen? Again, it's same, right? Name, it will consider this value. Age as male and gender, no value. But if we give period, then SAS can understand, okay, second value is missing. So wherever the value is missing, there we have to give period. See? If name is missing, here also we have to give period. See? Name missing, age missing. Character missing values will represent with blank space and numeric missing values will be represented by period. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Next one. Okay. By default, the length is only 8, right? So if I want to read the length completely, complete name, we have to use length statement. So just simply give length and write your variable name, and that is a character, and just simply give some length here. So now here it can read the complete value. Okay, this length statement we have to give before input statement. Suppose this one, if you give after input statement, then what will happen? So when it is reading from top, it will create a dataset name called list, and using input, it will create these variables, right? And also default attributes it will set. The default length it will say, make it as an 8. So after that, if you give any changes also, it won't accept. So give that first. So before setting the length as 8, here we are setting it as 20, right? So whatever we are giving first time, it will consider only that one. That's why we have to use before the input statement. Got it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now in generally, we'll write our names like this. Right or not? Separated by blank space. First name and last name. When we have a values like this. Now if I run this program, how SAS will read? What values it will take? What will be the name value?
John.
What is the age value?
Johnson.
Yes. And gender?
John.
45. Right? Johnson, as it is a numeric variable, it won't take. But if it is a character variable, it will take this value. Right? But I want to read this as a single name. How to read that? So this blank space, we'll call that as an embedded blank space. Embedded blank space is nothing but a blank space present within a single value. From here to here, this is a single value, right? Blank space is present in that single value. So to read an embedded blank space, we have to use ampersand, and sign. So here just simply write colon, ampersand, and then length directly we can give here. No need to write this length statement. A shortcut directly we can write here. So whatever the length we want, we can write that. Okay, when we are using this one, the next value, second value should be separated by at least 2 blank spaces. 2 or more than 2. If one is present, then what will happen? Again, it will consider that as embedded blank space, right? So we have to give like this, dot. Right. Now it is reading this complete name, right? Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of the list input method. The basic list input method cannot read more than 8 characters and cannot read embedded blank space. If we are using extra things like this, then we'll call that as an advanced list input method. Okay, so list input cannot read more than 8 and cannot read embedded. So if it is reading by using all these things, means that is an advanced list input. Is this clear? List input method?
Yeah, I have one question. You said that we have to add ampersand, that and sign, in order to make it read about this thing, these two values. But you have added a colon also. Is that also necessary?
Yes, yes. So whenever we are giving anything, we have to separate that by colon. Give colon, ampersand, and as that is a character variable, give the $sign.
$sign. Okay.
Next one is column input method. So column input method here, just write like this. So dataset name is our wish. Whatever the names we are giving, that's up to us. And here it is not necessary that value should be in a same order. And also here even blank space is not present between the values also, that's also fine. But how it will read the values? We have to mention the column positions. So name is starting at which position? It is here, right? So we have to count from first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Starting from 10th position to how many? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 10 to 21 is the name value. And age is at starting from 1 and 2. 1 to 2. Gender. So 3 blank space, 4 blank space, 5 blank space from 6 to 9 makes gender. Like this we have to give. So this we won't use in real time, because if we have some 50 variables, do we sit and count each and every time? No, right? So we won't use this. See? So here whatever is there from John, from 10 to 21 it will read. No need to use this ampersand and all to read blank spaces. Okay. Column input method, just simply it depends on the column positions what we are giving. So here just simply they may ask you like this. In certifications, I'm talking about certifications, you may get a question like this. So here what is the age value? They'll give 45, one option, MA one option, or missing one option, or some other, none of the above. So 4 options they'll give. So which one you will select here? What is the age value?
45.
Yes, see, by simply saying this one, we should not think age value as 45, because this position they might have given correctly or wrongly also, right? So we have to check whether they have given this position correctly or not. Whatever is present from 6 to 7, that will become an age value. So 6 to 7, what is there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, right? MA.
MA.
Is MA is the answer?
Yes.
Again, no. Because this is a numeric variable. Can numeric variable read these 2 characters?
No.
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 So the answer is the missing value. So if I run this one, missing value. So we should be very careful while answering the question. So sometimes they may give you correctly also 1 to 2. That's also. So then the answer is 45. If they are giving 6 to 7 and here they are declaring this as a character variable, then the answer is MA. So we should be very careful about the column positions and the type of the variable, whether it is a character or a numeric variable. So these are the 2 things that we have to check. Is that clear?
Yes. Yes.
Next one is a formatted input method. So formatted input method No need to give column positions. Instead of column positions, we have to write it is starting at which position? Starting at 10th position. So this is at 10th. And from 10 to how many characters? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 10 to 12 characters. Write 12 dot. And age is starting at first place, first position, and 2 characters long. So 2 dot. Again, gender is starting at 6th position and 4 characters long. Like this we have to give. Okay, now run this. Okay. Now it is reading data correctly, right? Depending. Again, this one also we won't use in real time because we won't sit and count all the positions.
Yes.
Okay, and again here also the thing they may give you again. Okay, and here every time I'm mentioning dot, right? Suppose if you miss to give dot, then what will happen? Think that here we missed giving dot. So if you miss dot, then instead of reading from 10 to 12 characters, it will read only 12th character. Whatever is there 12th character, it will read that one. See, 12th character is H. So if you count from first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12th character is H. So it is reading only H. So we should be very careful whether they are giving dot or not. And one more advantage for these two methods are we can reread the values. So reread the values means suppose here instead of printing complete name, I also want to print first name and last name separately. So first name and last name. Then here just simply give the variable name and the positions. So first name is starting at 10th position and 4 character long. And last name is starting at so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15th position. So 15 to 7 characters long. Like this. So now here if you run this one, see how many times it is printing, John? 2 times. Right here and also here. But how many times we have given the value? We have given only one time, but it is printing multiple times. So like this, if you want to print again and again also we can print. That is called rereading the values. The same thing we can do that using column input, column method also. So just simply write first name and give from which position to which position, starting from 10 to 10, 11, 12, 13. This one also will print 2 times. Okay, so this is called rereading, but that is not possible with the list input method. If you want to print here, along with the variable name, we have to give the value also. Then only it will print the value. Okay, now here they may ask you same like column input method, what is the age value? So here we have to check one thing extra. What is that? Whether they are giving period or not. First we have to check the positions and the type of the variable and the dot, whether they are giving dot or not. Do you understand this column in and formatted input method?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The last one is the named input method. Named input method here, the syntax data named input, name equals to $, age equals to, and gender equals to. So equals to we have to give and write cards. And again, whenever we are giving the values, we have to type the variable name also. Name equals to John, age equals to 40, gender equals to male. We can type in any order. Gender equals to female, age equals to 30, name equals to Elena, like this. But think that if we have like this 1000 observations, then 1000 times we have to type all these things, right? Variable names. Instead of doing like this, we can use list input method only, no? Here at least no need to type the variable name. Are you getting?
Yeah.
So this one also we won't use in real time. So all these input methods are clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Yes.
let's see an output method. Output method syntax is completely different. Data out. So here we'll write name equals to John. So character variables here we have to represent in quotations, and age equals to 40, gender equals to male. Run. Okay. So here there is an input statement to represent the dollar sign, right? To differentiate character and numeric variables by giving a dollar sign. But here we can't give like that. So always character values we have to enclose in quotations. If you enclose in quotations, then SAS will consider that as a character variable. And the other difference is at the end of each variable we have to give semicolon. Even if you are writing in the same line also, that's fine. But semicolon should be there at the end of each value. Now run this. So this is perfect. Now if I have one more observation. So name equals to Johnson. Age equals to 45. And gender equals to male. Like this it is there. Now I'll run this.
You forgot a semicolon there. After Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Now see this. How many it is giving? How many observations?
1.
But how many are there?
2.
2. Which one it is printing?
Last one.
Last one.
First one.
Yeah, age is 46. The last one it is printing, right? So it will print you only the last ones. Like this, even if you have some 10 or 100 observations also, it will give you only the last one. Because the previous observation will be replaced or overwritten by the new one. So if you have third observation, that will replace second observation. Fourth observation will replace the fifth one. So finally you will get only the last one.
But it prints the name is John.
I'll come to that also. Suppose here take another name. Okay, now run this. Now here it is printing this one, right?
Oh, okay, it reads the first 4 characters. Okay.
Okay, so if you want to output both the observations, we have to mention output. At the end of each observation, we have to give output. Then only it will output to the output dataset. Now see. Now it is printing both the names, right? Both the observations. But the thing is here, it is not reading the name completely. Right or not?
Yes.
It is reading only 4 characters. Why? Why 4 characters? Because first time, whenever we are setting the length for the variable, we have given 4 characters only, right? Here input will set the default length as 8. So even if it is 4 or 5, it will take till 8 characters. So that's fine. But here, first time whatever the length we are giving for that particular variable, it will consider only the length as that one. So here 4 are there. So next also it will take only 4 characters. So if you want to read this complete name, so here as this is the data is small, we can just give one more blank space. So it will take this. But in real time, we can't sit and adjust all the variable with the blank spaces, right? So we have to use length statement. Length, name, and whatever the length you want to give, you can give that. Is that clear? Output method?
Yes.
Okay. So all these points are clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's see about libraries. Okay. Where libraries will be there?
Explorer.
Yes, in Explorer window. Okay, libraries are the storage place for the SAS files, right? So whatever we are saving in SAS, all those will go and save in the libraries. How to create a library? Okay. Actually, libraries are of two types. One is permanent and another one is temporary. Permanent library and temporary library. What is meant by permanent library? Permanent library means whatever the data we are saving in that library will be saved until unless we delete. Okay. Some examples are SAS help. These are the default libraries we'll get when we install SAS. SAS help and SAS user. These two are the permanent libraries. And coming to the temporary. Work library is the temporary library. Means whatever data we are saving in this library will get deleted once we close the SAS. Okay. So now let's see how to save the data in particular libraries. Okay, data, new, input. What is the use of input? What's the use of input?
Input is variable.
Yes, it
creates it gets the variable.
Okay. Okay, now if I want to save this data set in any particular library, I have to mention the library name like SAS help dot or SAS user dot.
Yes.
Okay. Now here, see in SAS user, I don't have a new data set, right? The name new, I don't have any data set. Now if I run this one, see, it's saved in SAS user, right? Same way, if you want to save in work, you have to mention either work dot, or even if you don't mention work dot also, it will go and save in work library only. Because work library is the default library. Okay. Now here, I can write like this, or simply I can run without giving work dot also. Then also it will come and save in work library. So if we want to save any data set, we have to mention the library name. Okay, and here we save data set in SAS user. Now if you want to print this one, so proc print data equals to, we have to mention the library name also, then also SAS user dot. Every time when you are mentioning the data set name, we have to mention where it is present. Okay, SAS user dot new and run. What happened if I don't mention SAS user? It will go and search in the work library because that is the default library. So SAS by default it will go and search in the work library. Okay, if that data set is not there, you won't get the report. So each and every time whenever we are mentioning the data set name, we have to mention the library name also. Okay, is this clear?
Yes.
Now let's see how to create a libraries. It is not mandatory that always we have to save data in the particular these libraries. If we want, we can create our libraries, both temporary library and also permanent library. Both the libraries we can create. Let's see how to create them. Using a libname statement, we can create libname. This is an open statement. Means we won't write either in a data strip or in a proc strip. Like this, some open statements are there. Libname. Now give some library name. Apple. Okay. This is my library name. And here I have to give one file location. That file location is very important. Because see, if you check all the libraries, they are linked to some path. C drive users, some file location is there. If you check SAS user also it is linked to some path. So whatever the data we are saving in SAS, that will go and save in that particular path also. So here now I link to this path D drive. Okay, here if I give D drive, it will create one library called Apple. See here Apple is there. In that nothing is there, right? We didn't save any data till now. So it is linked to D drive. Now if I want to save this data set in Apple library, how to save? Just simply give Apple dot. That's it. Okay, now see here in Apple it is not there. Here also we don't have any data sets in this path. Now after executing this, see the difference. See, now in Apple I got this data set, and also this data set will get saved in this file location. See, in this path we are having this data set also, right? It will save in the form of a data set only. Let's see later what is the use of this, why they are saving here. Okay, this is one way of creating libraries. There is another way, that is, see here at the top we are having a new library button. If you click that one, it will open a box like this. Now here just give any library name, orange. Okay, browse one path, file location, select and click OK. Now here it will create a library called orange. Okay, now whatever the libraries we created using a libname statement and by clicking this one, these two creates a temporary libraries. Means not only a data but also this library will get deleted once we close the SAS. Then how to create a permanent library? If you want to create a permanent library, there is only one way. Again, just click this new library button, mention any library name, permanent something, browse one path. Before clicking OK, see here, we are having enable at startup, right? Select this option. If you select this one, it creates a permanent library. Now click OK. Now I'm going to, before that, I want to save this editor window. Okay. Now I'll close this SAS. Observe here, whatever libraries I created using libname statement and this one, Apple and Orange, these two are the temporary libraries. So these two will get deleted once I close the SAS, and permanent will remain. And also I saved this data set in new SAS user as well as in work library. Whatever the data we are saving in work library, but that is a temporary library, it will get deleted. Now I am closing SAS. If you want to close SAS, just simply click by here. Now open again. See, Apple and Orange, those two libraries are not there because they are the temporary libraries. Now if you check permanent, this is there. Okay, and also go and check the work library. See, nothing is there because as this is a temporary library, all the data will get deleted. See, in SAS user it is still there. Unless we delete, it won't get deleted. Okay, is this clear how to create and how to save the data?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, can you please right click and go to the property of the permanent library?
Yes, now I'm going to show you this one. See, here I link it to default.
Yeah, so after we save the library, we cannot turn it to the temporary, right?
No.
If we saved the library as a permanent,
no, you can't change that.
Okay.
So now here, while creating the Apple library and for the permanent library, I have given the same file location, right? This one, and for permanent also I have given the same file location. So now here what happened when I created Apple library, I saved this data set in Apple library, so it also by default it got saved here in that file location, right? So whenever I am using the same file location, whatever the data sets are there, all the data sets will get saved. In permanent library I have never saved, right? Here I didn't run a code like permanent dot, even though I got a data set in permanent library, because already while taking that path already the data set is present. That's why by default it got saved. Okay. Now again, what is the use of this? Suppose here if you are creating any temporary libraries and tomorrow if you want to work on those data. So see here, I'll just show you. In this path I'm having 3 data sets, right? Now if I take this path, and if I create any library, whatever the data sets present in this particular path will get saved in that library by default. No need to save separately. See, all these 3 data sets are there here in this path. So I got that path,
Okay.
all the data sets into this Apple library. Okay. Is this
Yes,
clear?
but what if you want to copy that data sets to the library? Can you do that?
Yes, see, so whenever in real time, they'll give data in some, all the data, all the macros, everything will be saved in some file location. Okay. They will say in that file we are having the data set. So if you want to work on this data set which is present outside the SAS, you have to bring this into SAS, right?
Mm-hmm.
So using this one, we can bring the data sets directly into SAS libraries.
No, but from existing the library to another existing library, how do you copy that?
Yes, that
Same
how
way?
to copy between libraries or within the same library, how to create a duplicate copy, I'll explain you while explaining the dataset options. Okay, that is about different statements, set statement. I'll explain you later. Is this
And
clear?
to make a permanent library, yes, it's clear.
Yes.
But to make it permanent library, to make the Apple as a permanent library, do you have to enable something on the
Yes, once we created, we can't change the type. Before creating, while creating itself, we have to select this one.
No, I mean on the command line. How do you put the option on the command line?
Here.
On the
No,
here.
we can't.
You can?
No,
Okay.
whatever the syntax is there,
But
those
it's only for
syntaxes
the
we should
temporary.
not change. Yes, this is only the temporary. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next one, there are some rules to create a dataset name as well as a library variable names. I think all these rules, 4 rules, they are present in that video. Do you want me to repeat?
No.
Okay. So all the rules are same for the library name also, except one point here. We can give up to 32 characters long, but only library name we have to mention only 8 characters long. More than 8 characters we should not give. See here, if you check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are there, right? The length 5 characters are there. Like that, only 8 characters we have to give. Okay, so that's the only difference between these dataset names or library names. Okay. Next one, in-file options. Okay.
Okay.
There are in-file options. Few options called flow over, miss over, scan over, DLM, DST. Okay. Let's see these options. I'll just copy a data. First option is the flow over. If I print this one, how many observations it will print?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
observations, right? So it as it is having 6, it will print all the 6. But how? Just understand how SAS is reading the data. So when it is reading from top, first it will create a data set called trials, and when reading this input statement, it will create 3 variables. And using the add statement, it will assign the values, right? Apollo, center is Apollo, trial phase 1, sub 78. After reading the first observation, did we mention anywhere that first line is completed, so go to the second line? After reading second line, go to the third line. Like that, have we mentioned anywhere here?
No.
No. Even if we don't say SAS that after completion of the first line, go to second line, it is reading the data, right? So that is called flow over. Flow over is the default nature of the SAS. If you want to give flow over, we can just write in file cards flow over. Okay. Even if you don't mention this one also, it will do the same work. Then what is the use of again mentioning that, right? The default things, even if we don't mention, it will do the same thing. So instead of typing this one, we can save our time, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that is called default flow over. Okay, here if you are writing cards, here also you have to write cards. If you are writing data lines, here write data lines. Okay, because you are including that data here.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is is it clear with the flow over?
Yeah.
Next one is miss over. Miss over, here if any values are missing, I told you we have to replace them with a period, right?
Yeah.
If we are not giving period here, what will happen? After reading phase 2, it will go to the next line for sub value, right? Sub is a numeric one, so it can't read this character. So again there it will give you a missing value, and totally it is giving you only 5 observations, right? Because it is ignoring this one. After reading names, it is ignoring these values. So you are getting only 5 observations. If you are missing period, means it won't read the data correctly. So we have to give period. So instead of giving periods, missing value, dots, we can write miss over. Okay, but remember this miss over will work only for the last values. In the observation, if your last values are missing, only the single value or the continuous values, but only the last values. Okay. The SAS, this miss over will stop cursor to go to the next line.
Okay.
Okay, so here after reading center as Apollo, as it is not finding two options, two values, right? So for these two variables, it will take them as a missing values.
Okay.
Okay, now run this. See, now it is reading the data, right? Correctly. If we are not giving this miss over, then see how it will read the data. See, you are getting only 4 observations, right? Everything is wrong. Okay, so we have to mention that miss over, and this miss over will work only for the last values. Here if you forgot to give dot, what will happen? It will read trial as 89 and sub as missing. Because last value only it will consider it as a missing. Whatever values are there, it will consider for the first values.
But if there is a big file, how can we do it? We cannot replace everything with a period, right? How do we read the data when there are
yes, when you are having a large data, even though in that large data if values are missing, you have to give the dot period. If you are not giving period, means it won't consider that as a missing value. For the last values, you can use miss over, but there is no option to read the before values, first values or the mid ones.
For the mid one, okay.
Either the mid, suppose here we are having 3, instead of 3, if we are having some 6 or 7, for that also only last values, it will miss or will work only for the last values.
Okay.
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 Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So miss over means it will stop SAS to go to the next line when it is not finding the values. If we are not using miss over, it will read these values, right? So it will stop the cursor to go to the next line. That is miss over. Okay. Now coming to the scan over. Scan over, the syntax is a bit different. We won't write in-file cards miss over or in-file cards flow over, like that we won't write. So scan over function means it will scan the values. Here see in the input statement itself, instead of giving the variable name, which values I want to scan? If I want to scan the care values, how many care records are there? 1, 2 records, right? Okay. So at the rate, in quotations, give your value, which records you want to scan. So care records are, it won't print you care. It will give you the remaining values. So phase 1 89, phase 2 89, right? So it is giving you only phase 1 89 and phase 2 89. Do you understand?
And it will not give the learning care or those
yes, it won't give that. It won't give this value.
Only the observations with the care value it will print out.
Yes, but we won't use this in real time. Okay, because see here, if you save this thing, you know that this is a care data. But how I can understand that this is care? Right?
Yeah.
There are some options where it will give you the complete record. Okay. some conditional statements are there, so we can subset the data. If you want Apollo data, so Apollo, sorry. Now here how many records are there for Apollo? 1, 2 records, right? Phase 1 78, phase 2 45. These two it will print. Okay. If you want to scan for the phase 1 values, then what to do here? As usually give the variable name. Okay, instead of this variable name here we have to mention @ in quotations phase 1. If you want phase 2, write phase 2. So now here phase 1, how many records are there? 3 records, right? It won't type this phase 1 print. It will print only Apollo 78, NIMS 45, here 89. Only the remaining values it will print. Okay. Okay, so this is called scan over. Is this clear? Yeah. Okay. Next function is DLM. DLM means delimiter. Okay. DLM means delimiter. DSD means data sensitive delimiter. Okay. Okay. Now let's see what is the delimiter. What is meant by delimiter? Means which delimits your values, right? So by default, here blank space is the default delimiter. So we are not telling SAS that before blank space read it as one value, after blank space take it as another value, right? Because that is a default thing. Default thing we no need to mention. Okay. Okay. So blank space is the default delimiter. Instead of blank space, if we are having any other special characters, like suppose if we have commas, okay, then how to read the data? Let's take one example. Okay, so here my data is with commas, right? When it is separated by comma, if I try to print this one, see, is it printing the report? No, right? No. Because something is wrong. That's why it is not printing. Yeah. So go to log window and check. See here, it is showing invalid data errors, right? So here if you check patient ID is missing. Name is, it is reading as 145, comma. Age is missing, right? Why it is taking like that? Because according to SAS, this is one value, right? Patient ID. Yeah. It is considering this whole value as a patient ID and this is a numeric thing. Here special characters, letters are there, so it can't able to read. It is giving you missing value for patient ID, right? So next value is name. For name, it is coming to the next line, right? This is complete one. So this is the second line. In the second line, characters can read special characters and letters, right? So default thing, it can read only 8 characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Till 8 characters it is reading. That's why if you check the name values, it is giving 145, KUMA. Right? Again for age, it is coming to the next line. Here as this is a numeric variable, it cannot read the data. Right? And for gender, no value. So all this is, it is not reading the data properly. Right? We have to tell SAS that here delimiter is not a blank space. This is a comma. So consider delimiter, comma as a delimiter. So before comma one value, after comma one value, like that. So for that here we have to mention in file cards delimiter equals to, in quotations, what is the delimiter? So DLM equals to, the delimiter is comma. So if you mention like that, it will consider comma as delimiters. See, now it is reading data, right? Yeah. Okay. Either you can write like this or we can write DST. That is a shortcut for DLM equals to comma. Okay. So now also it will read the data correctly. Is this clear? Yeah. Okay. Suppose instead of commas, if you are having quotations along with commas, okay, then how to read the data? When you are having data like this, here. Now again, if we are not giving anything, it won't consider, right? So the basic concept is whatever the delimiters we are having, that delimiters we have to mention in DLM equals to, in quotations, all the delimiters. Whatever is there, we have to mention. In this case, only comma is there, so we have given DLM equals to comma, right?
Yeah.
Now here, comma is there, single quotations are there, double quotations also there, right? So mention all of them here. So comma,
Okay.
single quotations, and okay, single quotations. Okay, see, if I give like this, can you find any difference here in the data? See some color change, right?
Color change, yeah.
Why? Because here SAS is considering this as a starting one and this as a closing one, opening and closing. Okay, then according to SAS, this is an extra character, right?
Okay.
If you delete this one, then it is fine. Then now what SAS will think? It will consider only double quotations and comma as the delimiters. It cannot identify single quotations, right? So run this and check how it is giving the data. See, it is not identifying single quotation, so it is reading that as a data. So here we want to mention single quotations also. If we are giving one time, it is an odd pair. So give 2 times. So this two makes one pair, this one and this one makes another pair, right?
Okay.
Now run this. Now it is fine. If we are, suppose, if we are enclosing in double quotations, we can enclose in single quotations or in double quotations. Now here, double quotations we have to give 2 times.
Okay.
As we are enclosing in double quotations, here these two will make one pair, this one and this one will make another pair. Okay?
Okay.
Instead of this complete confusion, we can write simply DST also.
So DST will read or even
yes, it will read quotations, double quotations and commas.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a shortcut for commas and quotations, DST. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. If we are having other special characters, we are having so many special characters, right? Like we are having @ sign, $.
Yeah.
Okay. When we have all those special characters, how to read the data? As I told you, the concept is same. In file cards, DLM equals to whatever the special characters are there, we have to mention all of them. See, comma, $, ampersand, and also blank space, right? So everything we have to mention here.
Okay.
Okay, if you are not mentioning blank space, what will happen? It won't consider blank space as a default delimiter in this case. Because we are telling SAS that here something as a delimiters, right? When we are mentioning some characters, it won't consider space. So space also you have to mention.
Okay.
Okay, you can give in any order, but all the special characters you have to mention.
Okay.
Okay, now let's run this and see.
If there are 2 commas, then we should, if your word is separated by 2 commas, then we should mention 2 commas or single comma. So
okay, if your value is missing like this, if your value is missing, then you have to use DST.
Okay.
Okay, DST will consider if we are having 2 values, 2 commas continuously, then it will consider that one value is missing. But DLM cannot identify that as a missing value. Only DST can identify.
Okay.
Okay, or you can do dot here as a missing value.
Okay.
Okay. Where are we? Here. Right? Here without fail you have to mention all the special characters.
Okay.
Okay. Again, if you forgot any special character, what will happen? Then it won't consider that ampersand as a delimiter, right? So for age, it will consider this as a age. So now here it will consider that as a missing value, right? For gender, it will go to the next line. So without fail, we have to mention all the special characters. Is this clear?
Okay.
But don't worry, we won't use all these things in real time, because whenever we are typing the data, we won't type like this randomly, right? With these special characters.
Yeah.
Okay. Either we'll just type space or we'll give commas. No need to use all these things, right?
Okay.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now another scenario is when you have quotations, commas and all other special characters. Along with quotations, if you are having how to read the data. Okay. This question you may find in interviews. In which scenarios we can use both DLM and DST. Okay, see, suppose here, what is the concept? In DLM equals to all the things we have to mention in quotations, right? So, here mention single quotations and double quotations also. Okay, if you get confused with this thing, so instead of that, for quotations, we can use DST. Okay, in this case, DST will identify only quotations, not commas. So, comma you have to give in DLM equals to. Okay, now run this. It will read data correctly. Okay, instead of using DST, you can give quotations here itself. Okay, now also it will read the data. Okay, if you think that quotations and commas will be read by DST, then it is wrong. When you are having all mixed quotations with other things, DST cannot identify comma. See, that's why you are getting all the missing values, right? It is not reading the data correctly. So you have to include comma here in DLM equals to.
Can you repeat it once again?
Okay. See, previously when we have commas and quotations, DST is identifying comma and quotations as a delimiter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So same concept if we apply here, and if we think comma, DST can read commas and quotations, so that will be wrong. When you are having all together mixed, DST identifies only quotations. It cannot identify comma. So comma we have to give in DLM equals to. In quotations, comma along with the other special characters here, $sign is there, blank space is there, and @ is there, right? So all these things we have to give like this.
So when there is a mixed special character, then DST can identify only the quotation, but not the comma. Okay.
Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Clear.
Now, till now, what we have done, we are reading only the SAS data, right? Suppose if we are having the file outside SAS, then how to read the external file? Okay, if you take this data, any one data, okay, see this. Is this the simpler way? Is this, can we type all these things?
No.
No, right? If we are having a small data like this, we can type. But when we have large data like this, it will be very difficult to type all these things, right? So how to bring this data into SAS? So first write data, dataset name, in file. In general, what we are writing? Cards, right? Because data is present in the card statement. If we are having data somewhere here, take that path. So right click, go to properties, security, and copy the path here.
Okay.
And in quotations mention that path. And then same as it is, give variable name. So whenever you are bringing data using in file, we have to open the data and we have to check what is the delimiter present, blank space. Okay, what are the variables? So patient ID, gender, blood group, age group, and 3 numeric values are there. Okay, so patient ID, gender, character variable, blood group, age group, RBC, WBC, and cholesterol. Okay, now run. If you run this one, what will happen? It will create one dataset called blood. Okay, see here, blood dataset is not there, right? When I run this one, it will create that. See, within seconds I got that data, right?
Yeah.
Okay, suppose if your data is separated by commas or some other thing. Okay, see here, data is separated by commas, right? So what to do? So take the path. Why I am taking from here? because if you copy this thing, here in this folder we are having so many files, right? So manually we have to type the folder name and also extension. So if we copy directly from there, so data, comma, in file, in quotations give, and remaining concept is same. As it is separated by commas, we can either give DLM equals to in quotations comma or DSD. So month and then year. Okay, run. Now here it will create one data set called comma. See, I got everything here, right? So if your data is separated by some other special characters, the same concept, this concept won't change. The only difference is this one. Instead of cards, we are giving where the data is present. Okay. Even if you want to use miss over, we can use miss over here. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now one more thing. If your data is separated by tab space. Okay. See, blank space is different, tab space is different, right? So name, age and gender. Okay. Let's consider 3 variables. So as usual, take the path from the file. Click OK. And the thing is here we have to change the path. Name, age and gender, $sign. Okay, for tab files, we have to remember one formula, DLM equals to in quotations 09 quotations close X. This is the formula for the tab files. Okay. Now run this. Let's see. You got that data, right?
Okay.
Okay. All these things are important for the certifications. They may ask how to read the tab files. If the data is separated by commas, how to read. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here we had 2 more options called first OBS and OBS. First OBS, comma OBS. First OBS and OBS we will use as an in-file options. Also we'll use as a global options, and also we can use them as a dataset options. Most of the time we'll use either as a in-file option or as a dataset options. Okay. Let's see what is first OBS and OBS. When you are bringing this blood data, here we are having so many observations, right? Some 1000 observations are there. Now I just want to bring only from 10 to 20. Okay. Or 11 to 15. Something like that. Then here I can mention the first OBS name. If you want miss over also you can mention. First OBS equals to, first OBS means starting one, starting from 5, and OBS means last observation, ending at 10. So how many observations we'll get here?
5 observations.
If you think that 5, then it will be wrong. We should not do 10 minus 5. Starting from 5. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So totally 6 observations. Okay. These kind of mistakes we'll do in exam. Just simply, if you do 10 minus 5, then wrong. This is the starting one. So if you write like this, then it will take only from 5 to 10, 6 observations, right?
Okay.
Okay. Suppose if you don't mention the OBS, last one you are not mentioning, but you are mentioning the starting one. In this case, it will take from 5 to till end, 5 to 1000. So totally 996 you will get, right? First 4 it won't take.
Okay.
Okay. If you mention only OBS without mentioning first OBS, then starting one if you don't mention, then it will take from starting to till 5. So now in this case it will read 5 observations, 1 to 5.
Okay.
Is this clear? First OBS and OBS. Okay. Do you remember libname statement?
Yeah.
Same like
library.
Yes, same like that we had file name statement. These are the open statements. We'll call them as an open statement because we are not writing them either in a data step or in a proc step, right?
Okay.
Okay. So we'll call them as an open statement. So file name, give one name for this, Apple. Okay, and here we can link this path. How we are linking the library, same way here we can link this path. Okay.
Okay.
Now here what we are doing? We are linking that file location with the name Apple. So here instead of giving that file, we can just write Apple directly.
Okay.
Okay. Remember, again here they will give you some options. What here they won't give you the file name. They will give you this one and they will ask what is the correct option. They'll give just only Apple, or in quotations they will give. Okay. Then without quotation we have to select. Okay, because file names directly we can write. If we are giving in quotations, then what SAS will think? It will consider it as a file location, right? If you give quotations, see, so now it will read that, it won't read the data. You will get error. So whenever you are mentioning the file names directly, you can mention here.
Okay.
Is this clear? File name?
Yeah.
Or you can directly create like this, or instead of creating and using that name, you can directly give that file, complete file path here itself.
Okay.
Formats and informats. Do you remember while explaining you variable attributes, I didn't explain formats and informats, right?
Yeah, you told you will cover later.
Yeah, formats. Okay, before understanding about formats and informats, let's understand the data. Okay, there are two types of data called standard data and non-standard data. Okay, what is meant by standard data? Standard data means here it should have either letters or numbers. It should not be mixed. Okay, either purely letters or purely numbers. But non-standard data means combining of everything, letters, numbers, or special characters, like that. Okay. SAS cannot read non-standard data directly. Okay. So I'll just give an example here. If you take date, how we will write dates? Just simply we'll write like this, right? Okay. So here are special characters and also numbers. Both are combinedly it is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Or sometimes we will write date like this also by writing month, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here letters are there. So we can represent date in many ways, in which numbers, letters and special characters are included, right? Combinedly it will be there.
Yeah.
Okay. So standard data is nothing but like this, using which we can perform some calculations, just simply not alphanumeric things. Like suppose here if you are taking some name, okay, name 1 2, we won't, this is a alphanumeric, but using this one we can't do any calculations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but using dates we can perform some calculations. If you are having two dates, we can calculate number of days gap or years gap, right? So like that, can you tell me one more example for non-standard data? Think which one will write in both combined. Can we take time as an example? How we will write time? Some 4 yes, 60 seconds, something like this, right? Or we can write like this also. 2 hours, 30 minutes, 45 seconds, AM, PM. Using AM, PM also we'll write.
Yeah.
Okay. And one more example for non-standard data is amounts. Amounts we can write $100 or with separated by commas, right? Okay, all these things. Now let's see how to read the data, non-standard data. Now here I'll create one data set, input, some two dates I'll give, okay, J date and L date. Can't give two dates here, 27/10/2015, 27 OCT 2016. Okay, run. Try to print this one. What it will print?
In the numbers format, I think so.
Without giving anything, will it give in a number format? Now
No,
here
no.
we are just simply declaring this as a numeric variable, and here some special
you'll get-
characters are there, so we will get missing values here.
Oh, okay.
In the sense, SAS cannot read this non-standard data directly. If you want to read this data, then if you declare this as a character variable by giving $sign, what will happen? It will take only first 8 characters. So we can increase the length if we want. But can we perform calculations using character variables?
No.
No, right? So we want to read them as a numeric variables only, but how to read them? So for that we'll use formats and informats.
Okay. Will it not convert to SAS date form like something?
That after using informats it will convert.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Now what is the use of formats? Formats will convert standard data to non-standard data.
Okay.
Okay. Informats will convert non-standard data to standard data. Vice versa to the formats. Non-standard data to standard data. Now here, this is in which form, what kind of data this is?
Non-standard data.
Yes, this is a non-standard data. So SAS can read only standard data directly. So what to do here? To make SAS to read this data, we have to use informats, which will convert this data to the standard data, right?
Okay.
So here we are having some examples here. We can write date in many ways, right? So here, if we write the date separated by slash, the informat is ddmmyy10 dot. Why I am calling this as ddmmyy10 dot? Because here see, day, month, and then year. So, and what is this 10? 10 is nothing but your length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Totally 10 characters are there, so we are giving 10 dot. Okay, sometimes we can represent with hyphen also, dot, colon, blank space. But remember, for all these things, informat is same, ddmmyy10 dot. Okay, we can write in by using a letters also, right? Like this.
Yeah.
Okay, if we are writing like this, then here we'll call it as a date. Date, complete date, and 9. 9 is nothing but the length. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here 2 hyphens, 2 more extra are there, right? So 9 plus 10, 11. So 9 plus 2, 11 dot. Here only, year, it is not necessary always to represent by complete year, right? Sometimes we may write only 03 or 05 something. So here, totally 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So date 7 dot. Suppose if you are writing month first and day second, then how we will write? Like this. In this case, we'll write mmddyyy10 dot.
Okay.
Because month first it is there, so we'll write month. Here, suppose if we are having only 2, here also 2, only 2 letters. Then here decrease 2 more. That's it. 8 dot. Here also, if you are having only 8, we'll write ddmmyy8 dot.
Okay.
Okay. So here now informats we have to use. Which informat is applicable for this? Like this, right?
ddmmyy10 dot.
ddmmyy10 dot. So here write informat, your variable name, jdate, ddmmyy10 dot.
Okay.
Okay. And for leaving date also we have to write ldate is looking like this.
Date 9
Date 9 dot. So for ldate also apply format. Remember, always formats and informats we have to write dot. If you are not writing dot, it won't consider it as a name, format name. Okay. Now run this. See, now here it is giving some numbers, right?
Okay.
Okay. Because using informats, we are converting non-standard data to standard data. Standard data means only numbers or letters. So here it is giving only numbers.
Okay.
But by seeing these numbers, we cannot understand what is this date, right? If I say 20,000 and all, so what is that number actually? That number is nothing but SAS by default it will save date as Jan 1st 1960. So it will give you the number of days gap between Jan 1st 1960 and the date you have given. Suppose here if you give 1960 Jan 27. So how many days gap is there between these two dates?
27.
26, right?
20. Yeah.
So in this case it will give you 26. So only 2 digits numbers we can calculate. Somehow we can calculate and we can do, but this much lengthy numbers we cannot calculate how many days gap is there, right?
Okay.
So for that what to do? Again convert your data, your standard data into non-standard data using formats.
Okay.
If I say 20,000 means can you tell me the date? We can't do calculations, right? So again convert that into non-standard data, means you want to display them like this. So if you want to display like that is a particular date, then write JDate, format JDate, which format you want to display. See, whenever you are using in formats, you have to use the same in format. These two should match. Okay, but whenever you are using formats, that's your wish. How you want to display this thing? If you want to display like this, you can mention that format name, that is date 9 dot, right?
Okay.
And L date if you want to display like this. Okay, see here remembering these format names is easy. For this, if it is separated by slash, you can give ddmmyy 10 dot or ddmmyy s 10 dot. Sometimes format and informat will be same, sometimes they won't be same. Here it is separated by dash, so give D10 dot. Separated by period, so P10 dot. Colon C10 dot, blank space B10 dot. Okay, like this. And if you want to display like this, you can write date 9 dot or 11 dot, anything. So here write some other thing. DDMMYY C10 dot. Okay. Now if you run, what will happen? JDate will be displayed in date 9 format and LDate will be displayed in like this, separated by colons.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
Okay. If you want to apply same format name here and here, no need to write 2 times. Okay. Just write all your variable names and write the format name at the end. That format name will be applicable to all the variables.
Okay.
Okay. Here there is a shortcut for the in-format statement. Instead of writing in-format, here we can just separate it by the colon and we can give the in-format name.
Okay.
Okay, here also instead of writing again like this, just write date 9 dot. Okay, no need to write the in-format statement. But for the format statement, we have to write. No need, there is no shortcut for this.
Okay.
Okay. So is this clear?
Yeah. So informats is to read the raw data, right?
Yes.
To read
read your non-standard data to the standard data. It will convert your non-standard data to standard one.
And formats, again, we are converting the
standard one. In the sense it is giving some numbers, right? Numbers are nothing but the standard data. So that data, we are converting them into a non-standard data again like this.
Okay.
And these formats and informats you can use either in a data step or in the proc step. Instead of writing this format statement here, if you are writing in proc step, then what will happen? See, always remember not only format and informat, whatever the options or statements we are using in proc step, that will affect only the output, only for the output purpose. Okay, now here if you run this one, only in the output it is giving. But go and check the data set. Data set will have only numbers because we have not used the formats, right? If you use the same format statement in the data step, it will affect the data set.
Okay.
Okay. In both the case, your output will be same, but there will be changes in the data set. See?
Okay.
Okay. Not only formats, in further classes, whatever the statements or options we are using, if you use in the data step, it changes the data set. If you are using in the proc step, that is only for the output purpose.
Okay.
Okay. So like this, so many formats are there. Along with this, we are having two more formats called week date and word date. Okay, what is this week date and word date? Suppose here, if you apply a format word date, some 18 dot something like this. Okay, now here it will give you in words. Now it is not giving you in words like this, Jan 27, 1960, October, completely.
Okay.
Okay. See, the length, previously we have seen 10 means here we'll have only 10. But whenever you are writing words means all the months won't have the same length, right? If you take
Yeah.
May, it will be only 3. So, even if you have May here, 05, you cannot count only those things and you cannot think why it is giving 18.
Okay.
Okay. So even if you are giving here for 18, it is sufficient. Even if you give 30 or 36 also, it will give you the same. In order to satisfy all the letters, the length, it cannot print some extra the characters, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And word means it will print in complete word. Okay. Next one is week. Week in the sense, it will give you week also. Which week it fall? Either Monday, Tuesday, something like that. So Friday.
Okay.
Thursday, October, but that 18 length is not sufficient to write complete name. Okay, only three letters it is giving. If you increase the length, bit 24. Okay, now run this and see. See, this length is sufficient only for the weekdays. For month, it is not sufficient. As May is small, it is sufficient. It is fitting, but October is lengthy name, so it is not fitting, right? So if you increase some more.
Keep on increasing. Okay.
Yes. If you keep on increasing, so 30 or 32 or something like that. So here 36, it is fitting, right? All the names, weekdays and also month name. Okay.
Okay.
That is about week date and word date. Okay. We are having one more date called Julian 7 dot. Okay. What is this Julian 7? Here the dates will represent like this, 2005, 025, something like this. Okay, totally 7 characters. In these 7, first 4 are represents the year. So this is in the 2005. Next 3 letters gives you the number of days completed in that year. So it has completed 25 days. So here, if I give this one, so this is, we have to change that to Julian 7 dot, right? So here in 2005, 25 days means that is Jan 25th, right? So Jan 26. Like this here, maximum only 3 letters we can give, right? Because only 366. So somewhere here some 300 if you give.
Okay.
Okay, so 300 days it completed. I think it will come near October or November, right? October 27th.
Okay.
Okay, like this. Okay, but most of the time we won't use this. We'll use mostly DDMMYY 10 dot or MMDDYY as per the standards we'll use.
Okay.
Okay, is this clear for the dates? Okay,
Yeah.
sometimes we may write only in month and year, right? Without writing, mentioning the day, we can just simply write only month and year. So here, MONYY 7 dot, because totally 7 are there. Here 5 dot, here 8 dot. Okay, suppose here your date is like this. Only MONYY 7 dot, MONYY 7 dot, and if you try to print the complete name, okay, week date means here it will give you the day also, right? Or if you write DDMMYY 10 dot or 8 dot anything, it will give you, it has to print the day also. So which day it will print? When you are not giving any day, which day it will print? By default, it will print you only first.
Okay.
Whatever the month you are giving, only first it will print. Okay.
Okay.
And when you are having more than one observation, remember all the observations should be in the same format. Here if it is like this means all the same informate, whatever informate is there, same informate you can write either like this or like this. But you cannot write like this. Here suppose if you write 27 May 2015, then what will happen? SAS, here we are mentioning DDMMYY 10 dot, so it is some other thing, right?
Yeah, it
It's
cannot
not matching, so it should not be like this. But here you can give like this 05, because for all these things informate is same, right?
Yeah.
Okay, or you can give like this also, only with 2 letters here. Okay, so for this, what is the informate name for this? DDMMYY 8 dot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 8 means if you are giving 10 means it will read less than 10 characters also.
10.
Okay,
right.
but you should not give 8. If you are giving 8 means it cannot read the 10 characters. Okay, the highest one you have to give.
Okay.
Okay. So do you understand the concept of format and informate?
Yeah.
Okay, the concept is same for time and amounts also. Okay, let's see time. Okay, time, see here if we are writing like this, time here totally 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 are there, so time 8 dot. The format is time 8 dot. Informate and format also same, time 8 dot. When you are writing with AM and PM, if you are writing in 24-hour format, that will be fine, 8. If you are writing AM and PM means 2 more extra characters are there, right? So time 10 dot. So for that format, when you are having AM and PM, your format name also includes AM and PM. Time AM PM 10 dot. When you are having date and time together, date time 18 dot, format name also same. When PM is there, AM or PM, here date AM PM 20 dot, because totally 18, 2 more 20.
Okay.
Okay, and when you try to change the thing, see here, you are having in time 10 dot, right? This is looking like this with AM and PM. When you try to convert this into time 8 dot, so 5 AM means only in 24 hours format it will be 5, right? But 2 PM means it will be 14. It just simply don't remove this PM and AM. It will do that conversion.
Okay.
2 PM, when you try to change that into a 24-hour format, means only with time 8 dot, it will convert that into a 14.
Oh, okay.
Just simply it won't adjust the length here. Okay, to adjust the length, if it is removing these two, means then the time is changing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so SAS can do that conversion here with times.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever the thing is there. So practice with all these examples. Here the informate is time 10 dot. Here they are trying to print in time 8 dot. This one they are trying to print in with AM PM like this. So for that format name is time AM PM 10 dot. So 14 means that is 2 PM. 17 means 5 PM, right? So it will give you that PM and AM. Okay.
Okay.
So same concept when you are having date and time also.
Okay.
The concept is same for date or amount, times or amount, but only the thing is these changes in the format and informat names. That is easy to remember. No need to sit and by heart all these things. Just practice all these examples. You will only understand. Remember these things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Next, when you are dealing with some numbers, amounts like this. So here the data is separated by comma. So comma, how many are there totally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dot. Here how many are there?
How will it know it should give the comma after 3 digits, or it can be like
Yes, that SAS will adjust the thing. I'll explain you. See, here totally 9 digits are there. Okay. So here when it is 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So comma 9 dot. When it is separated by dollar and comma is also there. So it will take only dollar. No need to mention comma there. Okay, but you have to count this in the length. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So $7 dot. Let's take some examples here. Here your salary is in which in format? Comma 6 dot, right?
Yeah.
Comma 6 dot. Here dollar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So $9 dot. Okay. When you try to print salary in dollars and PF in commas, it won't do calculations like time. Okay. Salary means into dollar means into 66. It won't do like that. Just simply it will add $sign and it will add commas. Okay. Now I'll run this one. See here it is giving like this. Okay. Here what is the length we have given for commas? We have given 8, right? Okay, but here how many are there? Totally 7 are there. Okay, to fill that length, it cannot add some more extra commas, right? Suppose if you are giving comma 12 dot, so it cannot type like this, right? It cannot print like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so even if you are giving more length also, it will adjust and whatever the correct one is suitable for that, it will print only that one.
Okay.
Okay. See here. In this case, decimals are there. Okay. When you are having decimals and when you are trying to print more, see here comma 12.4 means totally 12 and after decimal 4 digits. But here after decimals we are having only 2, right?
Yeah.
So when you are giving after decimals more, it will add zeros. Because after decimal, if you are adding zeros, that won't change the value, right? Are you getting?
Yeah.
See, to fulfill that length, it is adding zeros. But here to fulfill the length, it won't add zeros. Because before decimals, if it is adding zeros, means the value is changing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so after decimals, it will adjust like this by adding commas. Sorry, zeros. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
Okay, so many examples are there. Okay, one more is there words. Words means it will print in words like 200,000. See, 223,000. Generally, we'll call it as a 2,23,000, right? But right in India, we'll call like that 2,23,000. But as per the thing here, see 223,000. Okay, so it will give like that only. Okay, that is about dates and time. So standard data and non-standard. Thank you. Please subscribe for more videos.